Hello, friends. This is Ann Costa. Today is First Friday, and what that means, as the first Friday of the month, we as Catholics are called to contemplate and think about and honor the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Now, the Sacred Heart is that image where he is often pointing to his human heart that is revealed in his chest, with typically flames coming from the top, engulfing a cross. You will often see the wound in the side of his heart where the lance pierced his heart, and it is entwined with a crown of thorns to remind us of the one that he wore on his head. This is an image that Jesus shared with a saint by the name of Margaret Mary Alacoque. She was a visitation nun, and she lived in France. Now, this is a very important devotion, not just from a long time ago in France when Jesus revealed his heart in an apparition to St. Margaret Mary. He did that for her so that she could share it with the world, for you and me, today, especially during these times, because when we contemplate his heart, we are deeply reminded in a very profound way of the story of our redemption and the way that his heart still beats for each one of us. Jesus also asked St. Margaret Mary for us to honor his heart and honor him by going to Mass on First Friday in a state of grace for 9 consecutive Fridays as an act of love and reparation for the ways that we can often hurt his heart through our sin and our indifference. Because when Jesus appeared to Margaret Mary, he was lamenting that he loved men so much, you and me, men and women, that but that he wasn't being loved in return. A lot of that had to do with the way the world was back then. The powers, the people in authority in the church and in government, but particularly the church, were saying that people weren't worthy to receive him in the sacraments of communion. Well, that's really true, but Jesus doesn't want us to stay away. In fact, he wants us to run to him and cling to him and be fed by him so that we can receive the graces that we need. That's what receiving him in communion is all about, his true presence. And people weren't allowed to do that back in the day, and Jesus felt the loss of humanity's love for him. And I have a feeling that he's feeling that loss still today because of a lot of the distractions that we have in our lives, and now with everything that is coming down in our world in terms of trying to get in the way of us to receive him. He wants us to turn to him. He wants us to turn away from sin and all the ways in which those sins separate us from him, and that hurts his heart. And that's what we contemplate with his heart. We try to make reparation by going to Mass on First Friday, by praying devoutly, going to confession so that we receive him. We pray for the Pope's intentions. And we live a little bit more austerely, with a little bit more austerity. Maybe we fast a little bit, we give up something, we do some small sacrifice for Christ on First Friday. And what he said, if we did that we would have the grace of a good death, a final death, that he would be with us in the end, and that he would take us to heaven from that place of obedience to him. Obedience and love are very much entwined when we think about Christ, and offering the First Friday devotion and becoming involved in it is one way that we show our love through obedience. We make a sacrifice. Going to Mass is sometimes difficult during the week or on a Friday, a First Friday, but it's not much to ask, really, when you think of everything that Jesus has done for us. Look at his heart and see what he did for love of you and me. God bless you, and happy First Friday.